Welcome back to CBS News 24/7. The individuals Donald Trump tasked with leading the nation's top posts will take the hot seat this week. You see them here behind me on this graphic. 13 Trump nominees officially kick off their nomination process by fielding questions on their backgrounds. Some of those picks having a tough go with senators and closed-door meetings. Well, now they will take those questions publicly. The man likely to face the most stern line of questioning, Trump's controversial pick to lead the Defense Department. We're talking about Pete Hegseth. So let's go live to CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane. All right, so Scott, Senator Elizabeth Warren released 72 questions that she plans to ask Mr. Hegseth tomorrow. Here are two, and I just want to read these to our viewers. Have you ever received any treatment for substance abuse or alcohol? That's the first one. And then she plans to ask, how many times have you been accused of sexually harassing or sexually assaulting another individual? So in the midst of these questions, what is the risk for Pete Hegseth where the votes are concerned in Congress?
No matter where the votes are, Reed, there is a bright spotlight on Pete Hegseth as he answers those questions. He has the nation's attention. There are these series of hearings this week, but he goes first. And it seems clear as the week begins here, Reed, that he is top of mind for senators because he is trying to become the nation's defense secretary, charged with overseeing millions of people, service members, contractors, and all that goes into protecting America. It's an enormous job. It's a remarkably complex bureaucracy. But until today, really, Democrats have kept their powder dry about Pete Hegseth. Republicans have expressed some concerns or equivocated a bit about their support for Hegseth. But now it's Democrats who have the time in the hearing to make their argument and pose their questions. Elizabeth Warren is forecasting where some of this is going. They're going to ask about his experience level. Is he experienced enough for this complex bureaucracy? But also about those accusations Hegseth has denied from the start about previous alcohol abuse and that sexual misconduct allegation from 2017 in California. He has denied all of those allegations.
So what else are you watching for as these confirmation hearings play out, Scott?
I'd love for you to put that graphic back up showing the many people going for job interviews at the U.S. Senate this week. It's about a dozen. And that's very limited bandwidth and time for Democrats to mobilize and galvanize against any one of those faces you see. So much is happening at once. They're going to have to pick their spots. January 15th stands out to me, though. The top left and top right there. Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota trying to be the nation's Homeland Security Secretary with oversight, presumably, Reed, of the mass deportation plans of President-elect Trump. And then Pam Bondi. She has 2 days of hearings to become the nation's top law enforcement official, the U.S. Attorney General, at a moment when there are hundreds of pending January 6 cases, promises by Trump of pardons, and fears that Trump will use the Department of Justice to go after his political enemies. Pam Bondi may not have big opponents in the Senate, but they have big questions for her.
While we have you here, Scott, we just got this moments ago some breaking news. That order by Florida Judge Eileen Cannon saying that she'll allow the release of at least some of special counsel Jack Smith's report into the investigation into the 2020 election interference case. What more are you learning here, and what kind of vibrations are you getting there on Capitol Hill among lawmakers?
To be clear, this opens the door for America to be able to read everything that Jack Smith put in his final report, what he found in his investigation of 2020 election interference. Judge Cannon's ruling still keeps restricted Jack Smith's findings about the classified records case involving Trump, because Trump has former co-defendants still going through the criminal system, and Judge Cannon wants to hold it back to protect that case. This could be released as early as midnight Eastern time, but the vibes we're getting is that the Trump team or those other defendants in Florida could try to make another appeal of what Judge Cannon just did, further sliding the time frame back from midnight to a date and time uncertain.
Not many days ago, the president-elect called Judge Cannon brilliant. It'll be fascinating to watch Truth Social and see what he has to say about her now. He did not want this development. Scott MacFarlane, always great to talk to you. Have a good day.